Self improvement is a constant looking for new ways, for answers, for new concepts. It's the same as getting to know yourself. You never truly know yourself. You never truly can predict how will your life go, how will your thinking go. And it's the same thing with self improvement. You just can never know how will the steps you take today affect the future. It might sound depressive, but it's not that depressive. It's just that we gotta be aware and we also gotta be humble. Because that is the only way how to manage this risk, this uncertainty. The more you develop yourself, the better intuition you get. The better you can tell what will actually help you and what is more of a bias, what is some advice that doesn't require that much of your attention. But keep in mind that it's extremely easy to forget the basics. For example, something so simple as gratitude. And you can so easily forget about it everything you've learned. Self improvement is very much about rediscovering, about revising. I've been learning about things like gratitude, about things like meditation, visualization, and these things very much shaped me. They formed me back then, and they were crucial for my improvement. But as the time goes, you discover more advice and you start to shift your focus from the old advice that you start to perceive as outdated to the new, like more modern, more up to date advice. That's not entirely bad. Of course, you're absorbing new information, but it's so crucial to come back to these old concepts, old ideas, and revise them and let them influence you again. Because you've overridden these. With brain, you never truly absorb something completely, and most of the time, even if you've been using something for months, it needs that care. It needs to be, your brain needs to be your brain needs to be constantly reminded of the advice it has been given to. Until after a very long time, this advice becomes so internalized that you don't have to think about it ever again. There might be some advice that you already internalized in such a way, but this internalization, it might take months and it might take years. So that's why we need repetition. So this is one concept that I wanted to communicate, because the repetition in self-improvement is something that is kind of not attractive. You know, everyone everyone tries to rush for the next big thing, the next huge jump, the phase shift, you know, to another dimension of their abilities. But these foundations are what you are building on. And they need to be very stable. This basic advice needs to be very internalized. And for example, these exercises like meditation, visualization, These are very important exercises that you might have been doing at some point, but you stopped doing these. You might not know why did you stop. And or they might not have helped you back then that much. These are two scenarios. Either you just stopped doing them for whatever reason, or they did not work for you back then. And that's another thing. Some advice just needs the right situation. So for example, visualization. Let's say 3 years ago, I learned about visualization. I tried to do it and I did not see any benefits. So I thought it's a waste of time. Even though it's very basic technique and everyone's talking about it, so it has something to it, probably. So whatever, I forgot it. But now I came back to it at the right time and I realized how powerful visualization can be. Why did I realize it only now? Well, because back then, I was building my business full of motivation. I did not need to visualize. I had the visions in my head. But after 3 years of building a business, you just need to remind yourself of the vision. You just need to remind yourself. You just gotta be more mindful about things. Because routines kind of restrict your day. Every day is kind of the same. You're not figuring out anything new that much. Of course, you're planning, you're doing new projects and stuff, but you kind of got used to it. And so your brain starts to work in this machine mode. And that's when visualization can help you extremely much. It takes you back to this child mindset to some extent and allows you to just visualize how would this day go in ideal case. How should this day go? You step back, you unlock your creativity, and so many times you not only get a huge boost in motivation because you visualize the goal why you do it again, but you also a lot of times find out what you can do that day to make that day actually exceptional. Not just one of many days, but exceptional. So this is the power of this basic advice. Always get back to basics. The basics are basics, but the basics are what you're building on. So take care of these. They are not that exciting. They are not something cool, like searching for the next trick for the biggest confidence. But it's just something that makes your personality and your development more stable, more predictable. So yeah, this is it. And I might do another video